Welcome to another Way Day show. Today, the show is actually about Newcastle, and we've got Stephen, top Newcastle fan, here to talk about Newcastle. So, how you doing today, Stephen?
Yeah, I'm doing fine. Let's get into it.
Yeah, no worries. We're just gonna jump straight into it. So, are Newcastle a big club?
Definitely, I'd say they are a big club. I mean, the potential of the. Well,
Yeah, I was gonna say, what's your reason for them being a big club?
well, to me, they've always been kind of a sleeping giant.
Yeah,
I mean, there's been so many false dawns with takeover attempts here and there over the years. I mean, us Newcastle fans have to grow a thick skin when you say new takeover attempt. Takeover linked in the news, and you just take it with a pinch of salt that it's not going to happen. Mike Ashley won't sell, but with this Saudi one, they have the resources to really take Newcastle places, and with Amanda Staveley and the group behind her trying to buy the club, they see the potential of the club. I mean, back in the early days, Newcastle were fighting for Champions League, playing Champions League matches St James's at night, entertainers, that kind. But ever since Mike Ashley's had the club, it's just a slow decline in the club. We've all had the occasional great player like San Maximan, for instance, Callum Wilson, but up until then, it's just a slow decline as Mike Ashley refuses to invest in the team. That's why I think the massive club that just needs that extra lift, that money, that lift.
Yeah, so realistically, where do you feel Newcastle should be in terms of the table? If everything is how it should be, where do you think they should be?
I wouldn't say top four, but I would say top eight. I would say about top eight. I mean, that's reasonable.
Yeah, I mean, for me personally, I believe Newcastle should be a top 8 team. When you look at the size of the fan base, look at the size of the actual stadium, they could potentially be pushing for top 6. Realistically, I think what Everton are doing now is what I feel Newcastle should be doing. I mean, from the start of the Premiership, I can remember pretty much. I think Newcastle finished second twice. Did they? They finished runners-up twice.
Yes.
So historically they are a big club. So where do you feel it has gone wrong? Because is it from Mike Ashley? Was it before Mike Ashley? Where did it start to go downhill in your eyes?
I think it's ever since Mike Ashley's had the club when you originally bought it. I mean, when he bought it, he's like one of the fans in a sense, trying to get people on side, fans on side with wearing Colaccini shirts, drinking pints in your way end at Arsenal in a game. He's trying to be one of them, but the things he's done as the owner, he shouldn't have done. Like trying to change the name of the stadium. He sold the best players. He's bought low, sold high. It's just it can be really depressing to support Newcastle United.
Oh gosh, I mean, it is. I think Newcastle one of those teams that everybody sort of likes, and I think it stems pretty much from Sir Bobby Robson. To be fair, that was the reason why people do, sort of like Newcastle. And I think even with Steve Bruce, the football isn't great. It's not great football, but I think because most other people like Steve Bruce, they want to see Newcastle do well. But I mean, it'd be interesting to see what happens if they do get taken over, because I can't see Brucey being the manager for too much longer. So in your eyes, what were the glory years?
The glory years for me were I was born in 1988, so I kind of missed out. But I've heard about all the entertainers, that kind of era. But through 95, 96 when that really great game against Man United, the 5-0 game.
Yeah, for Albert, the little chip.
The chip over the Spanish Michael.
It's probably one of the most iconic goals in Premiership history, especially from a centre back. Anyway, I mean Vincent Kompany's goal just before when Man City won the league. But for me, that's probably the goal I would always remember. The chip from Albert there. But yeah, I mean, I can't remember too many other glories. I think 2011 when they had Demba Ba and Cisse and Kabay, that team.
Oh yeah, definitely.
That team were threatening, and that was a good proposition you guys had with that team. Couple of years before that, with Laurent Robert, Nobby Solano, Shearer, you had another good team there. So, like, where do you feel it's gone wrong in terms of building on these good teams that you've had?
Get off. Sorry.
No. Really.
I just feel it's gone bad by bad purchases.
Yeah.
By players arrive and getting the wages, the 70, 80 grand wages, and just not putting effort in. I mean, you want players who are going to actually do well for the club. I mean, like you said, with Demba Ba, Cisse, Kabay, Ben Arthur.
Yeah.
They were absolutely excellent players, and they always gave it for the shirt. And Ben Arthur's goal against Bolton when he ran from his own half, that's a really iconic moment. I still watch it to this day. Yeah. And Laurent Robert, he's one of my favourites as well.
Do you see much glory with the team that you've currently got, the actual players you've got? Because I know Callum Wilson's a very good player. Fraser on his day, I mean, a couple of seasons ago, I think he was second for assists in the Premiership, so he's another good player. Murphy's a good player. So you've got a few good players, Lascelles. What do you realistically think for this team? Like, where do you think they should be, and where do you think they're going to finish the season?
Well, I mean, like you say, with the players, we've got like Sam Maximan, Wilson, Fraser, Almiron, even. You play them right in the right position, you can cause teams a lot of bother defensively. Yeah. I mean, it's just Bruce's tactics. He's played that formation once and he didn't like it. But with a team like that, we should be really going for teams, not unlike last night against Leeds. That was really atrocious when I was watching that. I couldn't believe it.
I've only seen I saw the highlights today, and the penalty decision. Like, I'm not quite sure why that wasn't a penalty, to be honest.
Yeah, as soon as I saw that when I watched it on Amazon Prime, as soon as I seen that, I said that's a Stonewall penalty. I was hoping the referee's going to blow his whistle to give it. That was a Stonewall penalty. Even in the commentary afterwards,
VAR never went back and looked at it. It was just so stonewall that, like, I actually just don't know what they were looking at, if they were even watching the same game, to be honest. Like, and those things are what gets teams. I'm not saying you guys are going to be relegated, but those dropping of the points, things like that, do kill teams. And you'd hope with VAR that they started to get these decisions right, but they're still getting them wrong, which for me is a bit worrying.
Callum Wilson's not the sort of player to go down like that. He was kicked from behind, and you could even Mark Clattenburg, Robbie Savage as well, said, "Well, we can't say why that hasn't been given." He went to a quick VAR check, and that was it. Played on with the match. I don't necessarily think we would have won the match. Because we were atrocious. The midfield was non-existent.
Yeah. So, put in order what you feel are the current issues. So, do you think who's the biggest issue? So, from number one biggest issue, then the second, then the third.
Well, the number one biggest issue is always going to be Mike Ashley.
Yeah.
He's he's never had a clue how to run a football club. I mean, he bought it as like a joke in a sense when he bought it in 2007. He just hasn't done the right things an owner should do with a football club to try and grow, to try and get it in the Champions League, Europe, buy the best players, not buy low, sell them high. He just uses it as a business. He doesn't care about the fans. Even with he's trying to get this takeover approved.
Yeah.
He's trying to get fans on side with that, going to arbitration with the Premier League. He's trying because it's his club and he wants rid of it, which I can see why. He can't take the club forward. He can't compete with the likes of Manchester City in that interview he gave. But with the players, I wouldn't. It's the lack of motivation from the manager, really. I mean, if you had a manager like Rafa Benitez and you had players like Saint-Maximin, Wilson, Almiron, you would utilise their strengths in that team.
Yeah.
By playing them correctly in the correct formation, go forward, when to go forward. I mean, it's just Steve Bruce's tactic. I mean, I remember a game against Manchester United. Darlow was injured for 25 minutes and he didn't want to bring him off. Darlow was injured because he clashed with Rashford when beaten 4-1 and he was injured for 25 minutes. That's how he conceded 3 extra goals when it was 1-1 with about 10 minutes to go.
Yeah. No, bless him. So you saying it's the owners, so owner/board, then the manager, then the players. So you don't really put much blame on the players then?
No, I can't put much blame on the players because I love most of the players at the club.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, Callum Wilson, Saint-Maximin, Almiron, they all put a shift in. That's what I like. Yeah. That's what all Newcastle fans like. If you put a shift in, is playing, you'll be loved.
Who's your current favourite player right now?
I've got a few. Well, I have shirts with Almiron on. I've got Saint-Maximin, Wilson, Fraser.
Oh, okay. So
even Matt Dubravka,
I'll give you top 3 then. Give me your top 3.
Top 3, Dubravka.
Yeah.
Saint-Maximin.
Yeah.
Wilson.
Okay, so obviously I heard you talking about Brucey. So who do you want as the manager right now?
Well, I would like, I'm sure every Newcastle fan would love Rafa Benitez back.
Yeah.
For what he did for the club over the 3 years he was in charge. Yeah. I mean, when he first was appointed, it was already an uphill battle to try and stay up because we were in really dire straits. But I always remember that Tottenham game when relegation was confirmed to 5-1, and we packed the stadium out just to sing Rafa Benitez, "Please stay," and that persuaded him to stay in the Championship. We ended up winning the league that next season.
Yeah,
and then finished very respectable 10th in the first season back in the Premier League. So I would always say Rafa Benitez for me because he's got unfinished business, and if the takeover was to go through, I would like him back.
That's fair enough. I mean, we all know that he's a world-class manager. So if he does come back and he has a bit of backing, then it'll be interesting to see how Newcastle can progress, to be honest. So who's your greatest Newcastle player in Premiership history? To be honest, I think there could only be one, but let's see who you're going to go with.
Well, I think it's got to be Alan Shearer for me.
Yeah, got to be, isn't it?
It's got to be for what he's for. We turned down Man United when Man United came calling for him. But he only ever wanted to go back to Newcastle. It was.
Yeah.
I remember that celebration in the 5-0, and he put a cross in for Les Ferdinand, I think, to score the third. He ran over to the Man United fans with these arms in the air, just like mocking them.
Do you feel that was a lack of motivation from Alan Shearer, though, just to want to stay at Newcastle? And he could have gone to Man United and been
But
Champions
he
League
said
winner.
he could have gone to Man United, won trophies, but it was the lure of his hometown club was too much for him. He's always wanted to play for his hometown club, and for 15 million, and you're saying the scenes when he first signed, he got announced as a Newcastle player, thousands of fans lined like the car park when he's like singing away and stuff like that.
Yeah. Nah. Yeah. So I mean, I would say it's definitely Alan Shearer, isn't it? So yeah, just the last thing. Name your greatest Newcastle 11 or greatest Premiership Newcastle 11. It's gonna be very hard, but
pretty hard. I'm trying to think of all the great players. I would.
Let's start with the goalkeeper. Who are you putting in there in goal?
Shay Given, I would say.
Yeah,
he was brilliant.
Yeah, Shay Given really was. I think he was quite underrated as well, to be fair.
Yeah, he was. Did wonders for Newcastle. Shay Given.
Yep.
Right
then
back.
Let's go right back.
Steve Watson. I don't know. I can't remember. He was a right back or a left back. But I think he might have been.
Watson was right back. Yeah.
Steve Watson. Centre back. I would have Albert, Philippe Albert.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say Jonathan Woodgate because I didn't mind him when he
Woodgate, good shout as well. Very good signing that was, but I know he had quite a few injuries, didn't he?
Yeah, it ruined his career. Left back, Jethro Williams.
Oh, that's an interesting one. That's a very interesting one. That one.
Yeah, he's another one of my favourites. Jethro Williams. Yeah. Right midfield.
Well, what formation are you going with?
4-4-2. We'll go 4-4-2.
Yeah.
Right midfield. I'll go with Alan St. Maximin.
Oh, Maximin. And who else?
Rob Lee.
Good player. Very good player.
I like Isaac Hayden.
So Rob Lee, Hayden. Yeah.
Left. Robert.
Can't leave out Robert, man. Legend. Shearer.
And Shearer, obviously. I think he gets that one straight away.
This one's going to be hard. Shearer's partner, because you've had some very, very good players to play with Shearer that he's actually played with as well.
Ferdinand, I think they got on really well. Les Ferdinand.
Yep. So we've got Lee, Hayden, Robert, Shearer, and Ferdinand. That is a very good team, to be fair. Very good team.
Now.
And for manager, to manage at 11, it's got to be. Oh, nice. I was going to say it's got to be Rafa, but
I would say Keegan. Kevin Keegan.
Oh, I didn't expect that. Yeah, Keegan. I mean, I probably would have gone Sir Bobby, but I could see why you've gone Keegan.
Yeah.
Could have been Benitez as well, to be fair, but
it's a hard choice, the manager. Hard choice.
That was very hard. I mean, for Arsenal, it's easy because we've only had like one manager in the last. We had one manager in the last like 20 years.
It's going great for Arsenal, though, is it?
No, nice, no. But we're not here to talk about Arsenal right now. So, what do you see in the future for Newcastle?
Like many others, a Saudi-backed takeover.
Yeah.
Put money into the club, buy the best players, challenge for titles, Champions Leagues, League Cups, everything, and regenerate into the city more than anything else.
Yeah.
I just think it's a sham that it was blocked by the Premier League for what it would have brought to the city.
Yeah.
I mean, it would have brought life into the city. What plans they had for the club. I mean, it was just like a dream come true when PIF came in, and they were really serious about buying the club.
Yeah.
And for the Premier League to just block it for, I don't see any good reason why they didn't block it.
Yeah.
I just feel it was the wrong decision, and clearly influenced by outside sources.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't looked enough into it just yet, but it's always hard, isn't it? If they're not from this country, it's really hard to track where their money's coming from and stuff like that. So I think the Premiership are a bit dubious, but if you're saying there's nothing wrong, then hopefully they do get taken over. So what do you feel from the final thoughts? Like, what do you feel? Where do you feel Newcastle going to finish this season?
Well, if we can. I mean, not another performance like last night, because that was really awful. I mean, you can play some great football.
Yeah,
but I would say top 10. I would say finish 10th. That would be justify a good
that's
season.
What you're hoping for. But where do you think they will finish? Where do you actually think they will finish?
Yeah, I think they'll finish where they are now, about 13th, 14th, or something.
And do you feel like Bruce is gonna finish the season?
Oh yeah, he'll finish the season. I mean, no matter how many people want him out, Ashley won't get rid. That's his man. He's on a 3-year deal. Yeah. He'll still be there. Take over pending.
Do you want Brucey in or out? Because obviously I know you want Benitez, but you definitely want Brucey out.
Absolutely, 1,000,000% out.
Well, what's the main issue? What's your main issue with Brucey?
He doesn't have any tactical nous as a manager. I mean, to go 5 at the back against Leeds United. I mean, Leeds United, don't get me wrong, Leeds United are a good team. But play 5 at the back most games and not go forward to try and win a game early.
Mm-hmm.
You say Newcastle's problem when you take the lead in a game, you tend to sit back and thinking they've got the game pretty much won at 1-0. It's never won at 1-0. You have to do it a lot, concentrate for a full 90 minutes. But I just don't rate Bruce at all. He doesn't have the tactical nous to be a Premier League manager. And most people I talk to on Twitter are very much in the out brigade, and I join that.
Poor man.
I was never a fan when Rafa left and he was lined up to join. I said, please don't let it be him, because he's going to take us down. And give him his credit, he didn't take us down that season. We did play okay, but pundits keep saying he's done a good job. He deserves more credit. Well, he doesn't.
Yeah.
He's getting by on luck. That's all. He's just getting by on his luck. And last night it ran out.
Bless Brucey. But Stephen, thank you so much for coming on. Can you just let us know where we can find you on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube?
I'm on YouTube at Geordie Talk.
Yeah.
Twitter is at Stephen NUFC, and that's what I mainly use. I don't use the Instagram or anything like that. So,
once again, Stephen, thank you so much for coming on. It was a pleasure just to get a bit of insight into Newcastle United, and hopefully you get everything that you hope for, the 10th place finish. We hope that you become a big club again, and we hope you get that takeover, Stephen, that you're praying for. So once again, thank you so much for coming on the Away Day show. And we're going to call this one Foggy on a Tyne. So have a good day.
Right.
Have a good day, Stephen, and
Thank
speak
you.
to you soon.
Thank you. See ya.